Yes, now everyone, welcome back to another video on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to go through the recap of the round of 32. We saw some epic fixtures, some mega cup sets, and maybe some not so surprising so-called cup sets in my opinion. But without further ado, let's get into digesting some of the games that went down over the last couple of weeks in the Australia Cup round of 32. Kicking off with Moreton City, they got past Campbelltown City. Vlog for that game out on the channel if you haven't seen it already. Massive crowd down there at Walter Park to see a very convincing performance from Moreton City over Campbelltown. Yeah, I thought they might come with a bit more in this game, Campbelltown, but a 5-1 win for Moreton City. Very happy days down there at Walter Park. Next up, Oakley Cannons beating Sydney FC. In my opinion, even though I did predict Sydney to go past Oakley originally, I kind of, second thought that as soon as they got to game day, I was like, I think Oakley are actually going to get through. They got through 3-1 pretty easily overall in that game. Oakley, they look very strong. Obviously, they're doing very well down in NPL Victoria, so no surprise that they are able to go past such a big club in Sydney FC. Maybe that's a bit of a surprise, but to get past an A-League team, I wouldn't put it past Oakley at all, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a massive cup run in this year's competition. Next up, MacArthur got past O'Connor Knights. A very, very good performance from MacArthur, although it didn't come without a scare from O'Connor Knights down there at GIO Stadium, but a very good win for MacArthur regardless. They go through to the next round where they'll be taking on another A-League team if you haven't seen that already. I'll have my round 16 predicts out in the next week or so stay tuned to the channel for that. And then the last game on that first match night was Hume City taking on Darwin Hearts. A massive win there for Hume City, 6-0. Darwin Hearts, they looked very good, especially in the first half, but Hume City really, after the 50th minute, they took control. 6 unanswered goals in that second half. Very, very convincing from Hume City. And another one, I think the Victorian teams look unreal in the round of 32. Maybe we see one of them at least make the semi-final. Wouldn't be shocked at all. Next game, Blacktown City versus Adelaide United. Blacktown, they did their best to push Adelaide United in this game. A 3-2 win to Adelaide after extra time as well. A very entertaining game. Adelaide were 3-1 up in extra time. Blacktown came back 2-3. You thought they could have got a last one, but it wasn't to be. Blacktown go out of the Australia Cup and Adelaide progress to the next round. And then another one I was at, Brisbane City taking on the Wanderers. Vlog for that is out on the channel as well. Brisbane City, I was surprised of how much they were able to stay in the game against the Wanderers, really. The Wanderers, at times, lacked a bit of conviction up front. Just didn't look like they had a whole lot of a plan going forward. First 10 minutes, they looked unreal. 2 goals within the first 8 minutes, but after that, maybe they just got a bit too comfortable, didn't want to push on too much. Brisbane City were able to work their way back into the game, and it wasn't some extraordinary goalkeeping from Lawrence Thomas and some great defending from Bonatig and who was the other one? Pantazopoulos at the back. He really impressed me, actually. It wasn't for some great defending and some great goalkeeping from the Wanderers. It very well could have gone to extra time in this game as well. Rockdale, they went out to Newcastle Jets 2-1. I thought Rockdale could have caused an upset, but Newcastle are looking very good under Robbie Stanton at the moment. Obviously, there was great scenes down at Rockdale. The fans really got behind this one, but Newcastle were able to push through in this game. Justin Vidic, he started this game. Lockie Rose on the bench, but they looked very good. The Jets, could they be in for a big A-League season? Who knows? And obviously, they'll be taking on A-League opponents in the next round. And the last game for those first 2 match days was Lions FC going over to Perth Red Star and getting a 4-1 win. Massive win for the Queensland side. Great goal as well from Alex Fechner, who really sealed the game for Lions against Perth. Perth came out strong. They took the lead early, but Lions were able to fight back just before halftime, and then in the second half, it really just looked like they were in cruise control, Lions FC, and I think they've got a good chance of making it to the round of 16 as well. And then to kick off the second half of fixtures in the round of 32, Perth Glory and Melbourne City played out one of the best cup games in recent memory. A 5-4 thriller after extra time, 4-4 after normal time, and Nathaniel Blair coming up trumps for Perth Glory, getting past Melbourne City, and David Drulich has got that team looking really good at the moment. Their scoring goals maybe still need a bit of defensive work. They did concede 4 in this game, and they conceded a lot last year as well in the league, so maybe that's still something he needs to work on. But Nathaniel Blair, you know, the signings they've bought in Perth Glory, they are looking absolutely unreal at the moment, and they could be in for a big cup run and a big A-League season as well. Next one, Lambton Jaffers, they went down to Melbourne Victory. Victory looked very good in this game. Nisham Valupale scored a double. You know, Bruno Fornaroli scored 1. But that goal from the Jaffers, that was, you know, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose and have an absolute banging goal to go with it. That was absolutely unreal from the Lambton Jaffers player. But they do go out of the cup, and Melbourne Victory, they look very good, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go against their round 16 opponent as well. Then the next one, I don't think it's much of a cup set. I think South Melbourne were the favourites going into this game, and I think for good reason. They are absolutely unreal. Obviously a national second division team once that gets off the ground. And Wellington Phoenix, they tried when Rojas and Barbarouses came on. You know, it looked like they could get back into the game, but South Melbourne, their defensive structure, they just looked absolutely unreal in that game, South Melbourne. And they could very well make a very deep cup run. A lot of people are tipping them to at least make semi-finals at the moment. Some people are predicting even finals for South Melbourne. But yeah, they looked very good against Wellington Phoenix, and I can see why people are hyping them up as much as they are. Next one, Melbourne Serbia, the lowest ranked team in the Australia Cup still remaining. They continue after they got past the Mulberry Jets on penalties. They were down 1-0 for the majority of the game, and then I think it was a 70-odd minute equaliser from Melbourne Serbia. Sent it to extra time. Couldn't be split in extra time, and then Melbourne Serbia, they wiped the floor with them in penalties. Mulberry Jets players are probably a bit tired. A couple of lazy penalties, a good save from the Melbourne Serbia keeper as well, and they go through to the next round where they'll be taking on another Melbourne opponent, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that game goes. The next one, Olympic Kingsway, they got past the Edgeworth Eagles. Eagles were given a good run up until that red card, and then Olympic Kingsway, they just ran away with it after Edgeworth went down to 10 men. Obviously, going all the way over to WA from Edgeworth, it's a long trip, and then to do it, to be playing well and then go down to 10 men, it's heartbreaking for the Edgeworth Eagles. But Olympic Kingsway, they move on in this competition, and they've got a massive game coming up in the round of 16 as well. Then Heidelberg, maybe an upset. I don't know. Heidelberg, in my opinion, are a massive club, and the Mariners just don't have a great Australia Cup record. That's just strange enough. You know, even though they were treble winners last year, they don't have a great Australia Cup record. But this was a massive game for Heidelberg. 3-1 after extra time, 1-1 going into extra time, and then 2 great goals from Heidelberg. They were up 1-0 at the start, and then Mariners get a goal back through a massive deflection. Then Heidelberg take the lead in extra time, and then they seal it right at the depth with, you know, maybe a Pavlicic is trying to, you know, get his team the ball back, get an equaliser in extra time, but makes a mistake. Heidelberg are able to capitalise and win it 3-1. A massive, massive win for Heidelberg. NWS Spirit, they got past Glenorchy Knights pretty comfortably, in my opinion. 3-0. It just didn't seem like Glenorchy was really in this game very much. NWS Spirit, they haven't had the best of league campaigns in NPL New South Wales, but I'm sure they'll be looking forward to having a good Australia Cup run, considering a lot of New South Wales teams were knocked out. So, and we'll get onto that now. Olympic FC getting past RPA Leichhardt in another, in my opinion, bigger cut set than the South Melbourne Wellington one. Olympic FC, they haven't had the greatest NPL Queensland campaign, but to beat RPA Leichhardt like that, and for majority of the game, in my opinion, look the more likely team to score. Lyndon Farr with that winner in extra time. Also, that vlog is out on the channel now if you do want to go check it out. Absolutely great scenes down there at Goodwin Park. But RPA Leichhardt, they'll be disappointed not to get past Olympic in that game. But Olympic do make it through to the round of 16, and they've got a massive away trip coming up. But I'll leave that to when we're doing the round of 16 predictions. But there we have it. There is my little recap of the round of 32 of the 2024 Australia Cup. What game did you find the most entertaining over those first 16 games? Let me know down in the comments below. There were some absolute crackers. You know, you've got Moreton City winning 5-1. You've got the 5-4 of Perth Glory and Melbourne City. You've got Melbourne Serbia going through on penalties. You know, you've got a couple of NPL teams beating A-League teams. What was your favorite game? I want to know that down in the comments. So let me know. If you have enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more Australian football and Oz Cup content coming up over the next few months before the A-League gets started. So if you have enjoyed, make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I'll see you soon.